Hey everyone, so we're going to make a quick return to these guys today. It's been a while since we've picked one of them up, but it's getting around holiday season, and come on, what's a better gift than amazing sunglasses, right? So let's take a look at one of these from Anna-Karin Karlsson, and I'm thinking this is going to be the one today. So let's take a look and see how she really looks. And of course, as you're coming to know and love, before we dive into this, if you are new to the channel, definitely subscribe and ring the bell so you can stay up to date with the latest and newest cool stuff going on the channel. We do a lot of frame and sunglasses reviews. We also do a lot of more involved stuff as far as lens technology goes. Now, on to what you are actually here for, some of the coolest round sunglasses in the world, hands down. Amazing craftsmanship as always, and her attention to detail just blows my mind. But let's get into the actual sunglasses. Today we're going to talk about Full Moon by Anna-Karin Karlsson. And you know, it actually has another one called Half Moon that is exactly that. It's half the circle. We'll get into that, but that's the one J-Lo wears, which is, that's kind of cool. There. Now on to the gorgeous Full Moon itself. As always, we'll start at the very back with these nice little dainty circles at the tips. The only complaint I could possibly have about these, and it's going to depend on your hair type, is occasionally when removing these, it can get caught right there. That's it. That's the only little thing I have ever been able to come up with that I could even sort of fault her on. So yeah, no problems here. Now, as we go around, what I really love about this frame, we've got a nice arch for a really cool swoopy design as these temples come back around to the front. You can really see that when we get to that front 3/4, as it really just pulls from the bottom of the frame, arches up and back down ever so gently, and then that tip kind of balances that all back out. Now, as far as that goes, as usual, these are balanced extremely nicely. That's kind of the point in the ball tip at the back, just to offset some of the weight at the front. So even though these are, or at least appear to be, a very front heavy frame, it's not. It actually really balances well, and that's one thing I love about all of her designs. She always takes the time to make sure that it fits good and feels good, even though they are more extravagant. And that's, you know, overall pretty hard to find. Now, the nose pads on this one are all titanium. They do not have a silicone cover. Some of the models do. This one doesn't. Yeah, that's not something I really care one way or the other. They're all gorgeous. And let's get that defocus in, because yeah, the defocus crystals, I don't know why, are always so pretty. There we go. Now we've got some light to refract and play with. Absolutely stunning, gorgeous piece. The tint she's chosen for these with this nice rose gold color is just a very soft green to pink gradient. They call it a pistachio. It's one of Zeiss's tints, and of course they are Zeiss lenses, so optically speaking, you're going to get something really crisp and clear. Even as far as Plano is concerned, these are optical grade lenses. Absolutely gorgeous to look at, jaw-dropping finish, as you would always expect on anything by Anna-Karin Karlsson. This is another one of the models that is handcrafted in Japan out of solid titanium, so even though there's a lot going on here, it is all built to an incredible standard and really nice and lightweight too, which is always a bonus with sunglasses like these. Some of the other designers, they don't take weight and feel into consideration quite like she does, and they tend to feel pretty heavy and over the top on occasion. This is definitely not something I've seen with this brand. Now, as I always mention, it's always cool to come around to the back of the glasses and see kind of how things are made. In this case, you've got a nylon cord that wraps around this top part of the lens that holds it in. Now, that's going to be the same whether you do the full moon or the half moon, and still just a nice little touch. Of course, and it's grooved around the bottom too and holds in. One thing I would say, if you're considering these for prescription, you're going to either have to have a damn good optician and lab that knows exactly what they're doing, because as you saw with those stone settings on the front do come up into the lens area a little bit. That could be problematic for some prescriptions in certain cases. And regardless, it's going to take somebody that really knows what they're doing to mount this anyways. Well, just something to consider. If your lenses aren't perfectly flat on the front, that is definitely a problem. Now back to these, of course, as I mentioned, the titanium nose pads here, and of course 24 karat dipped like the rest of the frame. That does feature the Anna-Karin Karlsson logo right in the center of the temples, so you know what you're getting. There is no hiding it. Then I will say, as far as branding goes, this is one of those I'm a big fan of. It's always subtle. I can recognize her designs a mile away. They're so unique compared to anything else out there, and in a good way. I don't mean unique in a bad way, because there is weird unique and there is really cool, beautiful, well thought out unique. There is the difference between, I guess you could say, a Bugatti and a Maybach versus, say, a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. They're all beautiful in their own ways. One a little bit more elegant, one a little bit more exotic. She kind of blends the two zones a little bit. Some of hers are more exotic, and I love that. But as far as the logo is concerned, it's subtle. It's just that one little touch. If you don't know it, you're not even going to see that. It just flows as part of the rest of the design of the sunglasses, or fashion eyewear, or evening wear, or whatever you want to call it. There is no wrong answer here. They are simply stunning and beautiful when worn. I have not seen a face that this particular design doesn't look good on, because it is round, yes, and typically softer faces can't wear round, but the structure of this frame, the way this is more uplifting out here, it really works on some faces you wouldn't typically expect a round to work on. And of course, as it always goes, what would the fun be if I didn't try it on and show it to you on a face? You can see, as far as width goes, typical for hers, they lean a little bit larger and oversized, but this really shows you the attention to detail on these and how those stones really shimmer throughout the frame. It's really cool in this rose gold because it's a very subtle, but it's also very bold at the same time. You know, it catches the eyes, but it's not like, oh my God, what's on your face kind of thing going on. There's some of those out there, of course. I don't feel like this is one of them. I feel like this is actually a really easy to wear piece of fashion eyewear. Absolutely stunning all around. You know, there's not an angle this looks bad from, even on me. I know it's a more feminine frame, but come on, it's still very easy on the eyes, pretty to look at. And as I mentioned, even with those temples, it flows very nicely back to the ear, just makes that subtle arc all the way back. I've always been a fan of that in the 60s and 70s, and I think this frame really accomplishes that well. It's that low mount temple, and it's just gorgeous. I've actually been taking some of the readers and stuff, and even where it mounts at mid-height, doing that swoop to it, because we're seeing more of those trends coming forward. Now, if you're interested in these stunning beauties, I'll have a link down in the comments and in the description of the video directly where you can purchase these from me, of course. Always appreciate it if you're willing to do that, but hey, I'm having fun with this either way. Of course, it does help support the channel, so yeah. Anyways, enough of that. That's all I've got for this time. Let me know what you think of these. I know it's something more exotic. It's not your everyday pair. It could be. I definitely could see this being worn every day, but that's another story. We all have different tastes for this kind of thing. Like my hair flying away right now has its own taste and mood. I don't even know what's going on there. Anyways, so let me know your thoughts on these and even the brand overall. We've done a few of these videos now, so if you've been here for a while, you have some idea what these are like. Anyways, that's all I've got for now. I will catch you guys next time.